guys, we are now on Wednesday, and for the first part of this vlog, you will have seen literally just few B-roll bits, because today is the first day that I've had my voice back, but that I've also felt well enough to actually call myself a human. Last Tuesday evening, I suddenly felt really sort of weird, and I was getting hot and cold all the time, and we were doing a live with Chels, and afterwards I said to her, like, I really need to get to bed because I feel like I can't stop shivering. And then it went downhill from there. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I could barely get out of bed. I couldn't breathe properly. It was really scary. I genuinely thought I was not going to be able to catch my breath. It's probably the scariest thing ever, is knowing that like I need to breathe but I can't. The amount of inhalers I've gone through is ridiculous. They wouldn't give me antibiotics because they don't like doing that much anymore, which is fair, and I get that, but like when someone tells you they can't breathe, I tried initially going into the doctor's and she could hear I couldn't get a full sentence out. I could barely get out a word without like gasping for breath. And then she's like, can you come down to see the doctor? I was like, can you hear me? I can barely get through this phone conversation. Like, there's absolutely no way that I'll be able to come down. It was all sorted. I didn't have anything major, no lung infections, no blockages or nothing like that. It was just something that hit me. I know I didn't test for COVID because it's never right. I'm sorry, the tests are shit. I think the last time the other time I got COVID, I did 4 different tests. Told me I didn't have it. Sent off for that special PCR one that they used to do for free. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you got COVID. So, the shit. And when I spoke to one of my friends who knows the science behind the tests, yeah, I don't trust him. So, you know, I stayed away from everybody. Apart from my mum came, she's an absolute lifesaver. She came to check up on me. She came to clean and made sure that I had some kind of food in. I wasn't eating at all. I think over the 3 days the second day I had a bacon in a pitta that she made me. On the third day she made some mince and tatties the night before for her tea. So she brought them me the next day so I could heat up for my tea. And that's the only thing that I ate. Over the weekend, I think I've eaten maybe 1 meal. I made myself some soups that I just can't eat. I'm not hungry, even though I know I need to eat. And it's not usually like me. Normally, if I'm ill, and it's just sort of like just a normal cold or whatever, I can still eat fine. Yeah, it was really scary. So I don't have any reading updates for you, other than the fact that I'm going to be starting this tonight and just continuing it over the weekend. I'm probably going to stay at home this weekend as well, just because I don't think it would be well enough to go to my family's house this weekend. I'm literally just getting over the other side of it now, and I don't want to rush myself in getting, like, forcing myself out of the house when I'm not okay. I have just filled my TBR, so I have a ton of books that I need to stack away. I'm gonna put on some headphones, try and make myself some food. I have one of the soups that I made like sweet potato onion soup, which it is really nice. I really like it, but it's just everything's an effort and I just want to sleep. So I'll speak to you all hopefully tomorrow when I'm feeling a little bit better. Let's just feel like this. I'm no longer in the fiery pits of hell. I've just crawled out. Let's just try and get up the next few steps. That's what we're looking at, day by day, guys. My friends, we're jumping in on Thursday to say I have now finished Rise of the Scifier. Okay, so I'm really torn on this one. This follows a girl who is, obviously, you can tell by the advertising and the hype around the book, it is very much, you can tell it's kind of like a Cinderella reimagining. It's not backwards and going forwards with that situation. Alora's father dies and she's left to be looked after by her wicked stepmother and her ugly stepsisters. They all treat her like crap. She is the slave in the tippity top of the house that's kept away from everybody. The difference with this is that she is then bargained away to the prince of the realm, who really is just oblivious to any of the goings on with his people. He has his own reasons for not wanting to be in the position that he's in. So when they first meet, they don't like each other. She has a serious dislike for him, and he just thinks that she's a petulant little child. Doesn't understand why she doesn't like him, but she's also very intriguing. And it goes from there. I will say, this book did not need to be the size that it was. Yes, it's narrower, but this came in at like 650 pages, and this isn't the end. I thought that this was going to be like a series of standalones within the world, because the next one doesn't even follow these two, and the way that this one left off, I'm like, I don't understand. So the next one we've got is actually called A Kingdom of Frost and Fear. It follows characters, oh my god, it's 750 pages, and it follows a character called Raven and another one called Zeke. So Alora and Finn are not even mentioned, and this leaves on, and it's not one of those endings where you're like, oh, this could happen after. It leaves you on an actual cliffhanger where you would expect the next book to pick up where this left off and give you some answers. I don't mind ambiguous endings, I found, as long as it's sort of like the reader can make up their mind as to what happens at the end. They give you a partial wrap up and you can like, oh well, they lived happily ever after, or they didn't. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas this opens up a whole new set of doors of what could potentially happen. And then to find out that the next book is following totally different characters, which I don't know. I will say that the banter between these two had me chuckling. She's so venomous with him, and he has this possessiveness that's kind of like, you're mine, and he calls a little door, and yeah, it's cringy, but it's just, yeah, I don't know, the banter is bantering, and I was squealing, and it was so much fun. And yes, they end up falling for each other, obviously, it's a fantasy romance, it's going to happen, but even when they were like declaring their love for each other and realising they loved each other, they were just kind of like, yeah, I kind of like you, but I prefer being around your sister. So it's still, it wasn't that when they got together, the banter disappeared, which kind of happened and annoys me. Now we've got a bit of a dilemma. We're on the 31st of October. As you can hear, I'm still not 100%. And my chest still feels there. And I still feel a bit shit. So I do have one of the manga that I can pick up. I do still have to read Windbreaker for the manga prompt for Spookopoly. So I should really get that finished. Because today's the last day of Spookopoly-thon. So once I've done that, I could potentially start on one of my November reads, because there's no point me starting another read for October if I'm not going to finish it, if that makes sense. So there's a couple of books that I had on my October TBR or want to get to that I haven't moved over to my November, so I do have options. I can either put the reading down for now, and then after I've read Windbreaker Volume 3, watch some more TXT to do. Watch one of the many K-dramas that Fee is sending me details of. But I'm in a reading mood, despite feeling like an elephant is sat on my chest. I go now, decide what I want to do, put some books away that I didn't get to in October, and make myself a cup of tea, I think. I've got some of that biscuit tea, and some of the new caramel biscuit tea, and I think I'm going to have one of them and just chill. with Cookie and get some cuddles in, because now that he's out in the wild and out all day, running around, I haven't seen him all that much, so yeah, I'm gonna go. Hello friends, we are on Saturday now, and I apologise for not updating you yesterday when this officially started, but Happy Tubs and Treasures Month. I don't know what these are doing, but they're doing something. As you can tell, I'm still not well. Yay for shit immune systems. And trust me, I have been medicated. Not so much caffeinated, because I've not really drank or eaten much of anything because of like the feeling, how shit I've been feeling. But I am medicated to the point where I'm allowed to medicate, and this is still happening. So yay for that. I didn't read yesterday. I did fall down. I did fall down a rabbit hole of watching To Do episodes. So if you don't know what To Do is a show that was basically just a variety show of like challenges that the group TXT do, and it started when they debuted, just after they debuted, so about 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, and I am now on to episode 54, and I've only just started watching it this week. Blame Fee, she sent me the playlist. She's also sent me the playlist for 17, and someone else. But Stray Kids also have one, and the amount of time that they've been around, there's gonna be a lot of them. But yeah, I wasn't feeling reading yesterday. I am finding it so difficult to get back into like the headspace to be functional after work, and it's got nothing to do with what I want to read. Like, I look at the pile of stuff I want to read and I'm really excited to read it. I've been wanting to read Your Blood, My Bones for ages, since I knew it was coming out after I read The Whispering Dark. And I know I mentioned the other day that I was going to move on to Miss Perkins's Pocket Guide to the care of for the care. Oh my god, I can't speak. Miss Percy's Pocket Guide book. But then I remembered I haven't finished my character creation yet, and although I know Jem and Ash probably won't care if I don't do it the right way around, because they are all for like stretching prompts and doing what you love and that kind of thing. But in my brain, because I was supposed to finish the character, and technically you're supposed to finish your character before you go out and do your jobs, obviously, because your character isn't a full character. I need to read Your Blood, My Bones. So what I'm going to do I have a video to edit later on, but for now I'm going to put on the audiobook of Your Blood, My Bones, and then I'm going to start pottering around, doing a little bit of cleaning, trying to get into being a functional human being outside of being at work, because as soon as work finishes my brain switches off, and recently I've just been like not in the mood to do anything other than just sleep. So I need to get back into the habit of, even if it's doing a bit of cleaning, just moving around doing stuff. So yeah, we will do that. Also today, Butterfly Book Club book. This is not a subscription box book. This is book 2 in a series that I've not read book 1 for yet. The issue with this is they do bring out quite a few special editions, which is great, and they bring out sequels to the special editions, and they allow you to like, so they brought out the sequels to a book called Cursed Kiss, and they brought out an option where you could buy all 3 if you want all 3, or you could just buy the 2 that you didn't get in the subscription box. However, for someone like me who takes a while to get around to reading the first books in anything, subscription box wise, these go on sale really quickly after the box has been released and after the first books have been sent out. So this was only, the first book of this was only sent out a few months ago. So I keep missing out on the sales of the sequels. And it's really annoying me. I just wish that maybe they'd take a little bit longer to put the sequels on, or they would maybe get more stock that they'll be able to keep for a bit longer, because they still sell out really quickly, and I know they're only a small business, so there's only a certain amount they could like pre-order, pre-purchase. But I think there's pros and cons to that. So like, I really loved The Rise of the Scifier, but we received that quite a bit ago now, and book 2 of this is already on sale on their website, and we got Gods and Monsters book 1 after Rise of the Scifier, I think. So I'm worried that book 2 in the series might have already gone up and been sold out. So that's going to be annoying if that's the case. But anyway, rant over. You don't need to hear my voice anymore. I'm going to go put my headphones on and try and be a functional human being. Hello friends, yes, I'm on the sofa again. Don't at me, it's a comfy place to read. So I am now finished with Your Blood, My Bones, and I'm going to give this 5 stars. It was eerie, it was gruesome at times, it had the typical, what I feel like will be expected of Kelly Andrew going forward with regards to sort of like her writing style, and she does this thing of, do you know how some people say, do you know, I don't know how to explain this, do you know when something builds up in one POV and then it flips to another POV and you're left wanting more from that other one, and all you want to do is get back to that other POV when you've got multiple POVs in a book? I don't know how many times I could say POV. Kelly has a way of still keeping you interested in both people that are talking and both points of view that you are seeing it from. I can't remember the last time I've read a book where I've genuinely been invested the same amount in both sides of the story when it comes to a story like this. So we are looking for, so we see the book through the point of view of Wyatt, Westlock, and also Peter. There is a third person involved in the story that's mentioned, and we only see his point of view once near the end, and that's James. So Wyatt has grown up around, growing with these boys, and the relationship, the way it's described, they're sort of like people that have been thrust together and forced to be friends, and there's this constant question about why they became friends, because the way that their friendship is described, you wouldn't normally think that they would like to be around each other. We obviously know from the very beginning that there's something weird that goes on in this house or around this house that is connected to these 3 kids, and it switches from something that happens in the past, and then we are now coming back into it 5 years later, and White is back at the house, and it starts very dramatically. I don't really want to say more than that because I don't want to give anything away, I don't want to spoil anything. It is very dark and it's full of trauma, and Kelly Andrew has a way of making you feel like you don't know who to trust, you don't know what's real and what's not, you don't know what the hell's going to happen until you slowly start figuring it out alongside the characters. And I feel like the way that she paces her books and everything are just amazing. I highly recommend. I'm really gutted that I can't get the special edition of this. I don't think there is one that was released in the UK like there was for The Whispering Dark, because I couldn't find one. I could only find an I'll create one, and I don't want to buy that one. I'll just get the standard hardcover edition of this. And I feel like, might be too early to say, but Kelly Andrew might be an all-time author for me. So good. I need to find more and keep a lookout for more things that she releases, because both books I've read from her, amazing. But I'm going to head over now and get a shower, then jump into Miss Percy's Pocket Guide to the Care and Feeding of British Dragons, and I will be back with you when I've got an update. Hello friends, we're now on Sunday and I'm coming to wrap up this vlog. I just want to come up and update you on some things I received that I don't think I've shown, obviously because I haven't been feeling well. So I have mentioned before I get the Butterfly Book Club book box, and this month, last month was running late, so that was the case of Ophelia. And look at these beautiful edges, and they've got end papers on this one. They don't all have end papers, but this one also has a naked cover, and they all come with a signed book plate. I don't know what this is about. Obviously it might, I'm guessing, I'm saying obviously, I'm guessing it's a retelling of Ophelia, but I don't want to know, because I like going into these things blind. You do also get like a little card with a note from the author that I just keep in there, and a bookmark that comes with the book as well. I did show you the other book that I got the other day, Truth and Bonds, which is the second book in a series, but I also want to show you this month's. This month's came, and I immediately want to just drop everything and pick this up. I still haven't read the synopsis on this. Just look at it. 'Tis the season for monstrous things. And then there's that. There's that on the back. What does it say on the back? I just don't know what I'm more afraid of, coming face to face with a bloodthirsty monster or myself. This one also has, let me just take the dust jacket off. This one also has naked artwork, which is basically the building. You do also get a jigsaw in the box with this that has that scene on it, and if you can see, there's like little eyes there. And then we've got the front two end pages, which are those two, and the back two are different, and it is those two. Do I know what this is about? No, but I'm really intrigued, and so far I've read one. I've now read one of my book club box books, and I really enjoyed Rise of the Cinder Fae. You can't guarantee how I'm going to feel about the rest of them. I'm supposed to put this on my spinner wheel, but I really don't want to. I just want to dive into it. The only downside of these books is that obviously they are all indie, which is brilliant. That's not a downside. I worded that wrong. That's like, they're all indie. They are, from what I have read of these synopses, they are all dark romance and they are fantasy romance. I don't know what the difference between this is and the romance box that they do, because I think all these are adult as well, looking at like the author's Instagrams. And this is Blood Over Bright Haven by Emma Wang. I read Sword of Kaigan when it was indie published. I'm gutted that I missed out on the Rob J. Hayes, Emma Wang thing that they did with the special editions of both of their books, because Rob J. Hayes is climbing up the ranks of like favourite author. I love everything I've read by him so far. I think it's 4 books. Emma Wang, the way that they wrote Sword of Kaigan, I need to know how their writing style is in this kind of book. Oh, what we're saying about these ones is a lot of them are coming and they are thickums. They are pretty thick. The one that I'm going to read this week, or this month should I say, is Hidden Beneath, what the hell is it called? Hidden Beneath the Embers. And it's about 600-700 pages long, and it doesn't have an audiobook. This is over 450 pages long, which doesn't have an audiobook. And when it comes to contemporary, or like a quick thriller, that's absolutely fine. I tend to be okay with those kinds of books without audio. But these fantasy books, I don't know why, I feel like I struggle without the audios. So they will probably take me longer to read. I won't be giving you as many updates on these books when I read them, and it won't be like one clip of me starting it, the next to me finishing it, like it would be with an audiobook, because my reading pace is a lot slower when I do read physically. Although a lot of these are also available on Kindle, whether I have to pay an extra couple of quid for the Kindle book, or if I get it on Kindle Limited, I don't really mind either way. I think that sometimes it's easier to hold a Kindle than to hold up a big book. So yeah, those are the books that I've received since I've been ill. I'm due to go on breakfast sprints in the next 20 minutes, so I need to eat my breakfast pretty sharpish. I've got some granola with Greek yogurt, and I've got, this is a hot coffee. Do not at me. I need the flavour. I have a pumpkin spice coffee, and this is pumpkin spice. And I'm not mad about it, so don't come at me. I am feeling a lot better myself. It's just still feel a bit chesty, and obviously my voice is gone, but honestly, it was scary for a moment back then, because there were points where like I genuinely couldn't breathe, and I was so fucking scared. So I'm just happy that I'm at this point, whatever this point is right now. Thank you very much for joining me on my journey and sticking with me through this illness and watching whatever I put out regardless. It means a whole heck of a lot that you still watch me, even though my uploading is pretty shit recently. I'm not going to promise that I'll fix that anytime soon, because every time I do that, something else crops up that throws my life off, and it like throws my uploader off and stuff as well. So I'm going to try. I'm just going to say that I will try and do better at some point. But if you do like me, you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you're here and you want to let me know you're here, you don't have anything to say, please leave a black heart, very much appreciated. And until next time, enjoy whatever you're reading, watching, or doing, or drinking. And I will see you all in whatever comes next.